Hey, what's going on, everyone? Joe Menza here, and I had so much fun with that last painting that I did abstractly, and I think it's just the right thing to get me out of a little bit of a rut. I mean, after you paint for a while, you wonder what you're going to paint, what you're going to do. So I'm going to do another one. I might just keep going with these and do 10 minutes. I give myself under 10 minutes. I must finish by then. I've done some shorter than that, but I'm going to make sure to do it this way and try to come up with something. So we're going to start the clock, and the segment that I paint in won't be edited unless I zoom in or something like that. But I'm using white here. I'm using the Daniel Smith palette of colors, the half pans, and I'm mixing in a little white. I thought I'd do something a little pastel-y. I just had that in mind, not really sure where I'm going to go. Maybe put some water down here. This is 9 by 12, I believe, cotton paper. This is Winsor & Newton's cotton paper. And, again, it's always sky, foliage, trees, it's the same stuff, just kind of moved around. But just kind of come in with something in mind, have sort of a color scheme, a little blue, a little red, maybe it's a little sunset time, or maybe I'll paint in front of all of this. It's just, I don't know. So, and the idea is to do it quickly so it's spontaneous. I come up with something. It's a good exercise. If you're painting seriously and you want to do a nice piece, you can take your time. But I thought this is a great way to just, hey, let's see what happens here. No fussing, no mussing. The way I think Ron Ranson would have probably enjoyed it, which, by the way, please join us over in the Ron Ranson group over on Facebook. And I think you'll have a good time learning about the Ron Ranson brush if you don't already know about it. And the goat hair brush and the fast and loose big brush technique. Now, this is probably a lot faster than, I think in one of his videos he mentioned going fast was probably not the best idea, but I think for an exercise, I think it'd be fine, just to get that spontaneity out, It's just like speed painting, these guys that do the Rubik's Cube in 20 seconds, even faster now. So I'm putting a little blue back here. I don't really know, I'm just setting the backdrop here. I don't know if I like those white spots in the back. Am I going to go over those? I've got my cup of water here. I've got my towel for drying. And I've got my medium brush here so I can dip into these small pans. And I'm going to throw some yellow in there, which I've mixed with white. I'm using the Winsor & Newton white gouache. I use that if I'm going to paint on my lunch or something. And if you're doing the same thing, you're at your desk. Only have a few minutes to throw a painting together. So just kind of get wild, get loose, and let it happen. Like I said in my last one, you can have a little frame maybe at your office, and maybe you do one of these every few days or something, and you hang a new painting up for yourself to look at. I'm going to dab away a little bit here. I don't know. I'm just kind of going crazy with this. We'll see what this does. Don't really know where we're going, but again, we're setting the backdrop here, and I'm going to switch over to the fan brush. Go ahead and grab a little bit of blues, a little bit of greens, and I don't know, put some grasses down here. And the green and the red would be a little, complementary colors here. Always works out nicely. So I'll put some grass at the bottom. Not even sure at this point what I'm going to fill in on top. Probably a tree. Let's just see what happens. Let's just get crazy. And I just do it as quickly as possible. Do it, like you're running a race. I mean, you can do it even faster than 10 minutes if you want, but I think 10 minutes is a good under 10. And if you finish in 8 or you finish in 7, it's just fine too if you come up with something that you like. I wouldn't go any larger on the paper for that. Maybe 11 by 14 or 15, but even that's quite a bit. So I put this tree in here, and I used some burnt umber, some neutral tint, maybe a little bit of blue as well. And I'm going ahead with my rigger brush, putting all kinds of little twigs in there. And you can see this hasn't even had a real chance to dry yet, so you've got some sort of spreading out on the tree itself, which is fine. We're going to let that happen. Let the watercolor do it. Let the watercolor do the work. We're going to put the paper in there. We're going to let destiny decide. Just to show you, letting loose some control. I'll put some sticks and twigs and, just nothing really out of the ordinary. I'm going to take my little plastic palette knife here and scrape away some bark. If you have a credit card, you can use that. I have another plastic palette knife somewhere. that I like better than this, but I don't have it with me in my travel bag. So I'm putting some darks in here. I think that's a little too dark. See, now I'm going to get a little tripped up on this tree. Putting some leaves in here. The tree is coming out weird. But hey, this is what we wanted. This is what we wanted to do. We wanted to see what it's going to do. That's it. Pass or fail, whatever. This is it. This is what it is. Let's grab some more colors up here. You see those pastel-y colors in there, and I've grabbed a little bit of blue. I'm thinking some distant trees or something back there. You know, I just want some color back there. I don't even know if that'll work. At least it gives us a chance to see what works, what we like, what color combinations we like. So still using the fan brush. These are nice fan brushes. I like the stiff fan brushes, not those real soft ones. Let's go ahead and still kind of playing with this tree. See, you can't help. Even, and you're setting a 10-minute timer and you can't help it. I gotta fix. It's our human nature. I fixed that. I think I could make it better. You know, that's the thing that keeps us coming back to painting is I think I can do better. And this next one is going to be perfect. I know it. And it's that tail you're chasing, you know. And sometimes it does get a little old. I have to admit, sometimes I'm thinking to myself, why am I doing a hobby where I'm never 100% satisfied with what I just did? I have to be crazy to think I'm going to do that. But that's where, like, I decided I'm going to start doing these real fast ones. And you know what's good about doing the fast ones is you can't take a whole lot of blame because you're like, well, I only had 10 minutes. So it is what it is. But if you really take your time and at the end you're dissatisfied and you're like, you know, I spent an hour on this thing and I hate it. This one here you spent less than 10 minutes on. You're like, well, you know, it's not totally my fault. It's destiny, you know, whatever. So here I go again. I'm scraping more of this tree. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. I said, this is crazy. And look at all the branches and things. And go ahead and grab a little brown. Touch up that brown there. I want it to look like a tree, kind of. I know it is, I know this is semi-abstract. I'm going to call it that because I'm not putting in the details exactly. And I mean, I could go for simpler things, too. I mean, I could just do some grass or something, but I still want it to look intricate, you know? There's some green going in for the leaves. A little yellow in there, some grass down below. I think those colors are looking nice in the background. A little more scraping. A lot more scraping. Tree bark. That's turning out to be a real tree of life type thing right there. Throw some brown in there. Look how much time I've spent on this silly tree. I've done trees faster than this. Oh, we won't kick ourselves too much. A little bit of green hanging out here. This big, looks like a big celery stalk for cry-eye. Just grabbing whatever green I can. Desperation sets in as we speed paint. Grab a little bit of that white again up here and a little bit of blue. And I think sometimes you put a little shadow in blue. It kind of looks cool, looks like a cool temperature. Just trying some different things. A little more green here. A little more green in the grass. Just kind of eyeballing it real quick and saying, what could I do here? That branch hanging out looks kind of weird. Cover that up a little bit in the top. Take a little orange here too. Mix a little red and yellow. Put a little color in there so it balances out with the sky. Said it's less than 10 minutes, so I'm stopping here. I'm letting the chips fall where they may. We're calling it. Here it is in the mat. I'm going to pop in a couple of birds and sign it, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I think it turned out kind of neat. I don't know. You tell me in the comments. Remember to subscribe and comment, and I will see you on the next video.